Gaylords was not able to run in Heat 1, but the crew had it together for Heat 2B. And Steve David found himself in a heck of a race with Nate Brown in the Best Western Outrigger Hotels presents Lumar window film. In fact, Steve showed us how to make a boat run just long enough. Coming up to the start, Nate Brown grabbed lane 1. It was Steve David in lane 2, and in lane 3, Miss KC with Mike Hansen now taking over the driving duties from owner Mike Jones.
Mike Hansen, normally the pilot for the Miss Madison racing team, but they are back in Indiana lacking sponsorship. Mike showed up in Hawaii expecting to be a spectator, and here he is participating in the race on Pearl Harbor.
Mike, a veteran driver, a skilled driver. Miss KC, again named for Mike Jones's daughter KC, not necessarily the fastest boat out here in Pearl Harbor. Nate Brown, driving the Best Western Outrigger Hotels, presents Lumar window film, led the pack around the far turn, but look at the Miss KC right there with him at that point.
Mike Hansen substituting for Mike Weber, who had a great season in that boat. Mike is in China on business and could not be with us this weekend, but now here comes Steve David, the black and yellow Gaylords on Kauai. Fine restaurant over there owned by Wally Wallace, sponsoring Jim Harvey here in the last race of the season. And finally, Jim Harvey and crew chief Tom Anderson appeared to have this boat running the way they wanted it to.
Steve David in lane 2 managed to get by the Lumar window film as they crossed the start-finish line and headed back into the Aloha Stadium turn. Now, later in Heat 2B, look at as Steve David moved up on Lumar window film, but Nate Brown with the inside took advantage of it and pulled back ahead around the Pearl City turn and into the straightaway.
Coming down now to complete lap 2, Nate Brown appeared to have established a lead that might take him to the checkered flag, but Steve David in the Gaylord's boat stayed there to challenge.
Now here they were as they came around that final turn. Lumar on the inside, Steve David on the outside, Lumar pulling away, and watch as Steve David's boat, the Gaylord, slows down. Lumar window film, Nate Brown wins the heat, and the Gaylords barely makes it across the finish line. In second place, Nate Brown, the Heat 2B winner. And there is Steve David, Gaylord's boat dead in the water, but he got across the finish line to take second in Heat 2B. And third place went to Michael Hansen, driving Mike Jones's Miss KC. Steve talked with the winner, but first to the second place driver.
Well, you made it to the finish line, and that was about it. Do you know what happened?
Real bad vibration. Something in the drivetrain went. Don't know if it was a prop or gearbox let go, and smelled a lot of phenolic material, which normally is bearing material in the shaft line. Something, but the boat was running great, and I thought we had him covered, but when it started vibrating, we had to give it to him.
Could be the end of the day then.
Oh, it's never the end of the day for Gaylords. I mean, we'll find some way to piece this thing together. We still got 50 gallons of Bondo in the truck.
Well, they call Steve David the Chihuahua. It's like he had a hold of your leg and wouldn't let go.
You know, we're all out here to put on a good show for the fans and everything else, and the Outrigger Hotel Lumar boat, you know, we had to go get everything together after that San Diego thing, and I have to hand it for the guys. They did a great job putting the thing back together again, and little do they know that wasn't much of a show. I was in it most all the time. So the guys behind me here did a great job too. So it was a good race. Hope the fans enjoyed it, and it's great to be here in Hawaii.
When the final heat is run later this afternoon, we would expect the biggest challenge to Dave Villwalk and the Miss Budweiser to come from boats like the Wildfire with Mark Weber driving, the Outrigger Hotel's Lumar window film entry with Nate Brown, and of course the Appian Geronimo and Mitch Evans. But those boats are all drawn into Heat 3B. So they, like us, are spectators now as Dave Villwalk and the Miss Budweiser take on the rest of the field here in Heat 3A.
Under 20 seconds to the start, Villwalk has grabbed the inside lane for himself once again. Jerry Hale has lane 3 in the Waikiki trolley, and in between them, Michael Hansen driving the Miss KC in lane 2. Let's see who gets right to the start line on time.
You see the countdown, 2-1-0, a very safe start there, fairly conservative. And look at Mike Hansen, the young man from Indiana, a chance to go boat racing, and right now he has the Jones family's boat out ahead of Miss Budweiser.
From the O'Doul's eye in the sky, Dave Villwalk driving, as Steve says, a conservative race so far, close to the buoys but not terribly fast yet. Jones' boat got a little bit wide there. Michael Hansen, the driver again, and there it looks like Villwalk has started to open up the usual lead you would expect from Budweiser, but no. Here comes Michael Hansen again in lane 2. Look at him move up.
In this field, with the Budweiser on the inside, this heat should have been a foregone conclusion, but nobody told Mike Hansen that. We mentioned that this boat has run well all season. They've improved the turbine program. It's an older boat, but it rides very well, particularly in these conditions, obviously. And Mike Hansen is giving the Budweiser a good challenge here with the Bud on the inside. This is a big surprise, especially, I'm sure, for Dave Villwock.
I'll say Dave Villwock, however, did take advantage coming around that turn, opened up the lead, but here comes Michael Hansen again. Dave Villwock is the current leader in the Bud, but now he's not. Michael Hansen, a beautiful job from that angle of getting by the Bud. Mike Jones, the owner, drove this boat in the first heat. This was the only time Mike Jones has driven all year long. The boat was not able to start. He handed over the reins to Michael Hansen, and look at the job he's doing right here.
We mentioned that Mike Weber, the regular driver, who really had an outstanding season in this boat, is in China on business. If he knew how well Mike Hansen was doing here, stepping in, he'd be very proud. Mike Hansen is a veteran, many years in the Unlimiteds, most of them in that Miss Madison boat. Right now, he is leading this heat. What a story we have here.
Down the back stretch, Miss Casey actually opened a bit of a lead. Now the Budweiser with Dave Villwock moving back up once again. Trailing in this heat is Jerry Hale in the Waikiki Trolley. And Steve David was not able to start as scheduled in the Gaylords for this heat. Once again, there goes Mike Hansen around the outside and ahead.
But the Budweiser has the inside. If Hansen can hold him off, I will be surprised. And now the Bud holding it right on the buoy line. Makes a nice run down to start finish again. But once again, here comes Hansen on the outside.
If he is able to pull this off, nobody will be more surprised than Dave Villwock, I can tell you that.
One lap to go now, and if Mike Hansen can hang on and stay ahead of the Miss Budweiser, we'll have the biggest story so far in the 1998 season. Doing a tremendous job. Now, from above, we see the Budweiser on the inside. He has led through the turns, every turn, John, but the old Exide boat there, driven by Mike Hansen, appears to have some shoot speed.
Hansen came a bit wide on that turn and then turned it back in, but Budweiser, no, wait a minute. I was about to say Budweiser opened it back up. Then from this angle, once again, here comes Michael Hansen.
1/2 a lap to go now. One turn remaining. The boat that gets through the Pearl City turn the smoothest is going to win this heat. It's not a foregone conclusion. We still have a 1/4 of a lap to go in a great boat race.
Wide once again goes Michael Hansen. Tight inside goes Dave Villwock down the final stretch out of this turn. It will be, as Steve likes to say, a drag race for the finish. But oh no, Miss Casey falling off out of that last turn. And here goes Dave Villwock in the Budweiser to take the checkered flag. What a great race until that last turn, and Michael Hansen seemed to lose just a bit of it, and Dave found that speed he normally has. Second place for Mike Hansen, though, in the Miss KC, a mighty good showing, running around those 3 laps, and Waikiki Trolley with Jerry Hale hangs on to take third in Heat 3A. 1,200 points, 3 heats, 3 wins for the Miss Budweiser. Let's go down to the dock and Steve Montgomery.
Hey, pretty good afternoon water on Pearl Harbor, huh?
Sure is. Well, it's bumpy up at one side. It's real rough up there as the wind's blowing down into the second turn quite a bit. So, it's real rough there, but, I managed to get the Budweiser out front early. But Mike Hansen has given us a tough run. He was running the boat real good. So, it was a good race.
The biggest challenge to you in the final probably will come from these 3 boats about to run right now.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of fast boats here, and any of them could win, but we're going to try to. We got one more heat for this 1998 season, and we're going to try to win this next one.
Those 3 boats, Nate Brown and the Best Western Outrigger Hotels presents Lumar Window Film. Mitch Evans driving Jerry Rice's Appy and Geronimo. And Mark Weber in Wildfire. They'll duel when our Speed World coverage continues.